You ever want to end your existence? You ever just want to say, that's it, I'm good? I've done enough. I've been tired way too long. Has that ever happened to you? Where you're one stub toe away from just deciding to end up on the local newspaper for probably being the most violent way to end yourself in all of existence. Welcome. Welcome to the PigCast. We're here. We're doing one of these on a Sunday, the Lord's Day. I believe, according to the Bible, I should be taken out back and shot for working on the Sabbath. But no, I'm here. I'm here providing content for the PigCake community, the PigCake cunt community, as I like to call them. And we have an action-packed episode as usual. We're going to be talking about various topics. As you could tell from the title of this particular one, it's called Forex Magicians Don't Stop. And it's because Forex doesn't stop. And I don't mean Forex like foreign exchange with the usual way of trying to make money through the exchange of currency. No. I'm talking about Forex multi-level marketing schemes. And also a magician that really struck my fancy as far as being on one of these weird online dating shows. So I think that's been going around the space as of late. And I thought, hey, what a good time as ever to talk about that. What else here? Cringe. So some love Cringe. Also my brand new book, which is coming out tomorrow. I believe it's this one. Well, no, that one's already out. Well, actually, you could get this book, The View from Down Here. It's out now. You could get it if you want. It's hot. It's heavy. Rave reviews all around. Although the new book, right here, The Art of the Squeal, coming out tomorrow, Monday. I don't know what day. Monday the 25th. That book is coming out, and I guess I'll give more details on that. It's a fun one. I enjoyed writing it, and I'm already working on the new one. Hams and Fantasies, a take on scams and fantasies by Darwin Ortiz. And I figure that might be the route I go with down when it comes to books, is just get existing titles and rip them off, but with my likeness on it. What else? Drinks. I don't know why I wrote down drinks here. Maybe that might be one of the videos that we're looking at. This is a very TikTok happy episode. So we're going to be going through a lot of TikTok episodes in TikTok videos, just because there were a bunch that I had on my list and I wanted to go through. So I figured, hey, why not? Also, I just came from a walk, so please disregard the fit. I think I saw that as a comment here. Usually I like to cosplay as a Miami Vice character, seeing that I am in Miami, in the ghetto, not really where all the other people live in Miami that they make you think, oh, look, it's Miami, and they think, oh, that's what it looks like. No, I'm in the real Miami, the authentic Miami, Little Havana. Right, where it really goes down. Not where they send pictures from their balcony in the beach. That's not Miami. That's Miami Beach. It's a different thing entirely. So I guess that. And I went to one of these Halloween Horror Nights yesterday, one of the fake ones. I went to the real one a week ago in Orlando, but I went to one of the fake ones in Jungle Island, one of these dumb parks where they have a bunch of animals that are just held against their will for essentially white people. I think white people go there more often than not. I don't think the blacks go to those things quite as often as the whites do. But it was a very enlightening experience, I gotta say. Not really great, but I was drinking quite a lot, so that made it worthwhile. And women, I love looking at women, and for some reason, girls love to go and get scared, and I love watching girls get scared. Let me just start off the bat with one of these. Just that. How was meeting my black friend, Stefan? Stefan, of course, misspelt, but I would probably think that that's also how you would spell it. PH as opposed to an F. It was fun. Unfortunately, our schedules misaligned a little bit, even though it was quite serendipitous how he came down at the same day that I was going to be open. But unfortunately, our mutual friend Caramel had an emergency, and because of that, unfortunately, we couldn't hang out for as long as we wanted to. And also on top of that, I didn't feel good. I think the hangover that I was delaying from the night before caught up with me when we're hanging out. So it wasn't really great. But we had a nice time talking about some magic stuff. We got to get on a video call at some point. It was definitely a fun one. I like your drip is old retro USA failed anti-drug. Yeah, DARE, the DARE program, which I think inspired more youth to partake in drugs than any other program in the United States. I don't know what they were thinking. DARE, I forgot what it stands for, but I do remember the people coming to my elementary school, Coral Way Elementary, and telling me, hey, dude, dare not to do drugs. And of course they scare you and they tell you, no, weed is a gateway drug, the bigger, more hardcore drugs like cocaine and heroin. And not really. I think the average weed smoker is leagues ahead or leagues apart from somebody who does a cool drug like cocaine or something like heroin. I don't think heroin is cool, but coke is kind of like that cool drug that people do. You got to know like a biker bar to get some coke. You got to know the right guy. Whereas weed, everybody and their moms are doing weed, especially now that CBD is a thing. So my mom's rubbing CBD on her fucking body. So it's become a thing now to become more acceptable. But the horror nights that I went to was pretty atrocious for the sake of the fact that they really don't care. Whereas somewhere like Universal or Disney, they kind of put effort into those things. And these, they don't care. It's like a local underpaid youth that are the actors. And they just like to touch people and they grab you even though they say they are not. And you sign a contract saying that if you have a heart attack, if you get injured in the houses, essentially, you can't sue the organization. Even though I did see a couple people get injured for some odd reason. They get scared and then they hit the wall and then they got injured for that. Heroin is a gateway drug to smoking weed. Yeah, that's a better argument to make. That's actually a better argument to make, that heroin is more of a gateway drug specifically for weed. I also hate that I have the comments on the monitor here because my laptop, the battery, for some odd reason, decided to expand past the screen, so I can't use my normal laptop. So I have to look here. I don't like that. I like having a thing that I could see. This is too small. So now I have to subject myself to reading this bullshit. I remember the Dare cops mentioning sniffing. I remember the Dare cops mentioning sniffing glue to us fourth graders who have never heard of sniffing glue before. So we started sniffing Elmer's while white school glue. Well, that's the thing about these programs and why they don't work. I remember fondly when I was working on my at my previous job at the school, and the principal would tell the students before they would go on these trips, hey guys, look, we're going to be attentive to all your little tricks and moves, all right? What people used to do back in my day is that they would empty out the bottle of water and they would refill it with vodka, but they would take the cap and they would pop it off so that when you put the water bottle back on, it just looks like an unsealed bottle of water. But it's really full of vodka. People would do these things back in the day, and they would hide the weed bags around bits of ham and put that in their lunch boxes, so that when the sniffing dogs come around, they think that it's lunch meat, and they don't think that it's weed or drugs. That's what people used to do back in my day. But we're gonna be watching all of you guys, and they didn't watch anyone. So all these kids are like, "Oh, that's a good idea. I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna do that one." So. Kind of dumb. Hungry and Hungover says, any updates on the deck? Yes, I've received a contract. And I'm going to send it over tomorrow early. So I'm going to be sending that along with, I believe, the invoice, or they're going to be invoicing me for whatever the charge is for the actual deck and the shipping. And then we're going to be moving along. So it's moved along a little bit slower than I would like, getting correspondence from them. But then also I got distracted, to be honest, this week doing other stuff. And I'm coming out with an actual other product through a magic company. Look at that, boys. Your boys made it in the magic community. So on, I believe, the release of this trick, let me see if I have it here, Squint by Chris James. They did a live stream. And they mentioned that I will be working with them to release my own product. So I'm pending on Peter Nardi to smooth over the details. But they seem very ecstatic with the actual product itself. And hopefully we're going to get it out before Blackpool next year. So I'm kind of excited because it is my first official magic product. This isn't it, by the way. This is Squint by Chris James, but I'm pointing it out because it is Alakazam Magic, and they mentioned it on their stream. So I guess I could say it, that I'm going to be working with them to release a product that I'm very happy with, and we'll see if you guys like it as well. It's not something you would expect, I guess, for Piggy to come out with, but it's a fun idea that I've had for years, and they can make it happen. So why not? But yeah, updates on the deck. I'm going to be sending over the contract and the cash to them, and hopefully starting the process of printing quickly. So it's been good. I mean, we've had good correspondence back and forth, and I'm happy with the way everything is looking so far. It seems pretty seamless. I just can't wait till the shipping aspect. Slatzer says the blacks, you know, that's getting time stamped. I wouldn't expect anything other from you, Slatzer. If you're not going to timestamp me mentioning the blacks and the whites. Speaking of the blacks and whites, today I saw them conjoined, walking down, or not walking. I've mentioned this before. That was on one of the compilation videos that was made on my behalf, sent to pretty much everyone that I had on my contact list from people that tend to not enjoy my work here on PigCake. And one of the things that I mention is that every Sunday, what a group of exuberant youth like to do is that they like to take motorbikes and ATV vehicles and ride it on the major highways here. And the cops don't do anything because it's more of a hassle to take them down rather than let them be. So they go up and down the streets aggressively fast, weaving between traffic and running every single red light. And I tend to see that there's a pattern among the youth. There's some whites, but it's mostly a person of color endeavor. And they can't do anything because they're, I guess, driving unlicensed plated vehicles that of nefarious origin up and down. And you can't really stop them or bother them because they'll just... they'll partake in activities. But that was a fun thing, which was a fact, by the way. I don't know why that was taken on a compilation. It is a fact. They like to ride up and down aggressively, annoyingly, loudly. And it's a good combination. It's not a segregated action. It's a racism ending. So I guess that comment reminded me of that for some odd reason. But I guess let's just jump smoothly into the topics here. The first one that I guess I want to go into is this right over here, which is been going around for a while. The last one I do want to talk about here is this magician that ends up on a show here. But I guess I'll save that one for last. This one in particular made me have a cringe overdose. I had a cringe attack on this one. It was pretty aggressive. I don't know if you've seen this, but it made me have eye aids. And I guess we'll talk about her response to it after. So here you could see, want to see the cringiest, most coupley thing ever. Now, one thing that she does here before I start the video is that she mentions, oh, this is going to be cringe. That doesn't absolve it from being the cringiest thing you've ever seen in your life. So just because you say, oh, this is going to be cringy, doesn't make it cool, doesn't make it all right. And we could see here what's going on. I'm going to play the video, and I just want to apologize to you guys in advance. I want to apologize to you guys in advance here. So let's just press play.
Want to see the cringiest, most cuddly thing ever? This is called a love surge. And we do this when one of us has like so much love in our limbs that we can't contain it and feel like we're going to explode. So Sean is having a love surge right now, and he's going to wrap around me and shake with the electricity of love until I catch it too and start shaking. And then you explode with a love surge.
I feel so much better.
Don't you?
Thank you.
You're welcome. And that's the love surge.
Let me tell you, let me just, before I get into this, if you ever subject yourself to recording this, you know, for the sake of your missus, and she goes, hey, I have this idea for a TikTok, it's a love surge, so, you know, what's, I'm going to say, hey, you could talk about how much love you have for me and how you have to, you know, use your, or I'm trying to find the right words here. Let me just do this real quick. You have to express your love to me immediately so that you could get it out of your system. And then we're going to record it. She better be fucking the shit out of you. Like, she better just be riding your hog just aggressively on a daily basis for me to ever consider this on the internet being there permanently forevermore. And just watching that alone, I get douche chills watching that. I get just goosebumps of douche waving all around my body from that. Now, the worst part is that it's just, you could tell who's wearing the pants in that relationship. And she did respond to the vitriol that she got online. People were saying, hey, this is cringy as shit. What are you doing? What's wrong with you? There were videos made making fun of it, and she responds to it. Let me show this here. I didn't expect that much hate on the video.
a lot of the duets and stitches were really funny, and I laughed a lot. I can take a joke and I can laugh at myself.
I don't believe that. I don't
And some
believe
of the
that. She said I could take a
comments
joke.
were
I don't
really
believe that.
And they were like wishing that like someone cheated on each other, or wishing that like DV on me, or SA, or like to, I don't know, I've myself, and I think like if the goal was to
Now, it is
sad,
apparently her first day on the
did it.
internet. Now, I don't want to shame somebody who was just trying to show the love in their relationship, but that's the internet. If you ever partaken in a Call of Duty lobby, you would know that oftentimes it's part and parcel of the lobby for you to be told to essentially go fuck yourself and to end your existence. That's a very common thing. Now, if you decide to put a video on the internet where your husband or boyfriend is shaking because he's experiencing what you call a love surge, that the only remedy to that sickness is to hug you aggressively. You're definitely going to get some eyes on that. You're going to get some attention for that. So you could expect that a good portion of
Wanna
those
see the
comments are
cringiest
going to
ones?
tell you, hey, off yourself, or hey, I hope a goat makes its way inside of you. Those are going to be very common things. Again, they'd be very common things if you were doing something as menial as I don't know, having an open Zoom chat with your colleagues. If you were talking to your doctor on an open server regarding your medical history, it's going to be very common in the internet for you to be told things just because the scope and the anonymity of people. So it's a moot point to come on and say, hey, this is really sad and I didn't expect this. So I don't know if it's your first day on the internet, but welcome, I guess, because that's the sort of thing you would expect here on the internet, things like that. I don't know what your take on that love surge is, but I know that I personally have douche chills. I should have minded my business when I saw the stitch. It's okay to have secrets. These are the comments, of course, that I'm going through. Maybe I don't need a date ever again, actually. I've seen this against my will. Definitely not a me who moment. I don't know why that got a bunch of upvotes. Definitely not a me and who moment. Okay, all right, 4,000 upvotes that one got. It was hard. It was hard to see a love search to this video, but I got it done. Okay, so that's funny. It was hard to love search to this video, but I got it done. I guess that might be a reference to masturbating. It is aggressive, and this is one of those cringe things that belong not on the internet. If you want to have that little cutesy thing with your significant other, by all means, have little cutesy things. Lord knows we've all said and done cringy things for the sake of vagina or penis, and those things you keep to yourself. You keep them to yourself for fear of those things ever partaking on the internet or going on the internet and now having people forevermore watch you. Hungry and Hungover says, that guy better put a ring on it. Best he's going to get. I guess, but I would say keep it to yourself. There's some things better off to yourself. Piggy does have a very diverse fan base for someone who's supposedly racist. Yeah, that's the other one. But the common argument against that is... whoa, dude, what are you going to say, that you have a black friend so you're not racist? Yeah, because that'd make me a really bad racist if I had a very varied list of people that I see as cohorts and friends, and even some as family, and I would be racist. That'd be I'd be a bad racist if I had a lot of diverse friends and Muslim friends and Jewish friends and Latino friends, and I still am a racist. That's weird, don't you think? I think that I'd be a better racist if I didn't have those as my friends. But alas, my friends, the definition of racism has been chopped in half in 2023, and more so you could tell this on Facebook for Magicians Only group on Facebook, where every other month it seems like somebody posts some long-winded diatribe on some racist aspect of magic, and you go, that's a dumb take. That's a stupid take. You're dumb. You're incorrect. Using Chinese coins is not racist. It's not cultural appropriation. You're white. You're a white person. So I'm pointing at you. Whoever made that particular thread, ill. Let's see. Piggy's not feeling the love. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's that I'm not feeling the love. That I'm jealous that I don't have somebody to love surge me. But if I'm putting myself online and I'm doing that for the internet, I rather, or the only way that I would subject myself to being that guy is if I'm getting just demolished every day sexually. If she's just, if the bed is shaking and the headboard is vibrating because of what she's doing to my penis, that's the only way that I would tolerate or ever consider putting that on the internet with me instead of that dude. Piggy's American, and Americans don't believe Egypt is in Africa. That's really funny. I had that conversation yesterday with someone that forgot that Egypt was in Africa, and you have to specify, no, it's in Africa, buddy. And a lot of the Middle East is in Asia. They don't believe that a lot of these countries are, in fact, Asian countries, which is just hysterical. Manel says, I'm your blackest friend. Probably. That's just because you're in that Portuguese sun all day, man. You're there getting that tan. You're there getting that skin cancer, bruv. But, maybe I would say Daniel's probably blacker. Daniel might be a little bit blacker, especially considering his hustles. Speaking of, this ties in perfectly. Speaking of blackest friends, Forex. Forex is my favorite thing to look at. Not Forex in terms of stocks and watching foreign exchange trends, but Forex multi-level marketing schemes are among my favorite things to watch. And this one in particular really caught my attention because, the guy literally is drawing out a pyramid. Now, just some context here. A lot of times people tend to use things that could actually work, such as real estate or, in this case, Forex, foreign exchange, or stocks, to try to lure people in to the multi-level marketing scheme. A very popular one that I've had to deal with a friend of mine was Primerica. Primerica is a real estate scam multi-level marketing scheme where essentially if you draw out the scope of the job, it's a pyramid. It's a triangle. And they like to hide behind real estate and whatever, but it's a multi-level marketing scheme. Same with Mary Kay, same with LuLaRoe, all these other ones that every single one of your middle America white moms get into, right? LuLaRoe, especially if you saw that documentary, it was a great one. But this one is Forex, and it has a very specific group it's trying to target. And what I love is that every time you see these videos, it's always a group of a very, I would say, 80-20% diversity group. And they're always cramped up in one Airbnb. And every time they're popping bottles because, they made I guess, a profit on their exchange, they're always shaking one bottle. It's always one bottle, and they're always sharing it. And a lot of the comments like to say Nissan Altima adults, basketball Americans. They like to use these words to refer to these individuals. And the whole scheme here was not on teaching these individuals Forex and Forex techniques, but using them to recruit other people with the intent of apparently teaching them Forex and foreign exchange. Whereas nothing of Forex was actually taking place. As a matter of fact, oftentimes in these videos, people are showing their phones and they're in the negative. It's like you're showing your Robinhood app and you're below the bar. You're negative. So I don't understand what the point is, especially when you're paying about $300 up front to join this group, and all you're doing is recruiting people. Kind of odd. But this one I found particularly hysterical because, he's literally drawing a pyramid. So here, a lot of things they recommend in this particular group is for you to keep recording, put it on social media. You could see up here that this is on Instagram. And look how many stories. This person is a account on TikTok that they like to highlight these. Look how many stories this was. This is part of the whole scam. And homeboy here is literally drawing a pyramid.
150 in the spot. Already mapping out the P6 run.
Mapping out. So he's mapping out what is literally a pyramid scheme, and they put it on their Instagram. So homeboy's here, he's starting off from the top and he goes, no, so I work here and then you're gonna work for me, and then you could recruit people, and then they pay you and you just pay me a portion of that. And if you could be this guy where you have a group of people, and look how many potential people you could be making profit from. Okay, but where does the foreign exchange come in? Where does the Forex come in? in this particular thing? That's what I want to know. Because this guy's apparently going to teach this guy. But the only thing that they're teaching is how to recruit other people and how to essentially force feed them to fucking go part of your little marketing campaign. And it's just the funniest thing that they're so blissfully unaware. And this guy's drawing a fucking pyramid.
Already mapping out the P6 run.
Look at that. This is an Eric Andre skit. This is an Eric Andre skit where he's out here literally drawing out a pyramid. And they're like, no. He's mapping it out. What's he mapping out? What's Sandy mapping out?
It's just different, bro. Y'all wonder what's going on.
Y'all wonder what's going on.
You knew that.
One Airbnb.
You knew that.
But not the bunk beds, though. One Airbnb, and you got the bunk beds. You're really doing it big. You're really going back to the college life here, apparently. This is what apparently hitting it big in Forex looks like, where you're in an Airbnb on a bunk bed.
You knew that. You knew that. Yeah. This is a good launch. This is a good launch. Say that. We can do that.
What's he? I mean, what's the? So also, if this guy's attempting to recruit people, I'd like to know what his move is here. Like, what's the move? That's something I like to say as well. What's the move? You're showing the inside of what looks like to be a rental, and you're showing bedrooms and a bathroom, but you're saying that's a good lunch. You got a bunch of laundry, a bunk bed. A bunk bed is not a flex, man. That's not a flex, dude.
Upstairs.
By the way, several bunk beds, which imply that those are going to be full of people. So what's the flex here? You're not in a penthouse.
Good secondary launch. Good
launch.
Secondary
Okay.
launch space.
Launch space. So launch pad. I guess that this is where they're going to attempt to trade. And by trade, I mean try to use Instagram to recruit idiots.
Y'all see this little dingle Oh, it keeps going. Another back door.
I would not have put that there. I would not have, if I'm trying to recruit people, I would not put the sink ussy next to the single bed flex. I don't think I would put that in my story if I'm trying to flex as to, hey, man, what are you doing? I'm working on the weekend, all right? You got to get motivated. You're there in bed right now watching this video. You could be out here making money. And by money, I mean $5 profit. You could be making -5 because you've already paid $300 for the fucking multi-level marketing introduction. So you're probably also paying a portion of this Airbnb and also the travel to the Airbnb. So you're negative probably $1,000. But you could be making money, man. You're out here making no moves, and I'm making moves. I'm just trying to look out for you. You're my homie. These are things that they say to recruit people, and it's kind of cringe.
Another back door.
3 things that I started off with. Right? They have to love the product.
You don't even know how you're feeling on the inside. So how can you expect somebody else to get you to that point where they're telling you what to do based off how you feel?
Nothing's happening, by the way. There's no Forex happening here. All this is recruitment. Look at this. You got one laptop. You got homeboys looking at one graph. And they're sweating. They're looking at one graph and they're sweating.
And keep hitting this zone.
She's around. Let me guess, you're voice chatting someone. You're video chatting someone.
Actually get in contact with about
I can't, dude.
and then go on about your
So this is my favorite thing to look at. It's my hobby. Multi-level marketing Forex scams. This is another one that I guess I wanted to show. This girl ended up being in one of those videos that I've shown before here on the channel, where it's like, oh, they grab a group of girls or a group of dudes and they try to ask them questions. Here there was a couple that the girl was thinking that there's infidelity on the part of the man. The man says, no, what the fuck you're talking about? That other bitch is lying. And the other bitch, well, you'll see. Let's just show you this, I guess.
Paula, can you tell him what you told me?
So I pretty much told her that you took me to this really fancy restaurant, and afterwards we went back to my place and hooked up.
And he came on to you in the car and you guys are kissing.
Yes.
Yeah, see?
Why would you sit here and lie?
I lied because
So you weren't telling the
Wait.
truth?
I didn't think that she deserved you, so I lied.
Oh my God.
Clearly, she doesn't value the faithful, amazing man that you. I thought, maybe I have a chance because.
So you thought you had a chance with him, so you're trying to homewreck us so that
Oh, now, so all right. So, by the way, just a little bit of a when a bitch gets caught lying here, or a bitch gets caught being wrong on her man. Now it's us. Before it was you. You're cheating. No, you're definitely with this bitch. She told me this. I'm not gonna trust you. I'm gonna trust her, even though obviously she has an affection. Bitches aren't discreet. They're as discreet as a heart attack. So in this case, there had to have been some indicator that the friend here that we're gonna see in a little bit, that she knew that she liked him. But no, there's obviously a lot of ignorance because she wanted to prove her point that she was right, that he was cheating. And of course, when that's proven incorrect, she can't take the L. She can't say, no, I'm sorry, I was wrong. She has to go, you were trying to homewreck us. Now it's suddenly us. It was we, baby. It was always us. No, bitch. That's not the way it works.
you can be with him?
Wow.
Thanks.
Oh, now
She
she's
liked my
upset.
face.
And what have I been saying?
Thank you.
But wait, there's more.
So this one, the one that ended up lying, is a Forex bitch. So she's one of these Forex multi-level marketing recruiters.
This next speaker was a Division I athlete, is an aspiring actress. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Alicia Levine.
Oh. It's like in Mary Kay when you have a pink Cadillac. That means that the amount of cleaning ladies that you have working under you is illegal. It should be illegal because you've taken advantage of so many people that you've actually found success in the multi-level marketing scam. I feel like she's the same. She's one of those that I guess she found success in the scam recruiting a lot of people. And it's just hysterical that she's a homewrecker, that she's a shoddy. One of these, they call them shones in the hood. I'm too white to say that, to be honest.
Volunteer to the city.
So that's the rabbit hole that I found myself in, and I just found it quite hysterical that everything is connected. So Forex is something that if you're bored, if you ever want to find a rabbit hole to get into, look at Forex. Look at all these multi-level marketing schemes and scams that people get into and try to essentially recruit others with no foreign exchange taking place. None. Pepsi Addict says, my friend and I were 20 at the time. We landscaped a stranger's lawn. After we were done, he invited us inside, and him and his wife preceded us to show a 45-minute Primerica PowerPoint presentation. And the best part about that, Pepsi Addict, is that they try to sort of, I would say, shame you and try to poor shame you for example, in that case, for doing landscaping. And they try to recruit you and say, hey, do you want to landscape all your life? Do you know how much money people that work like in those industries are making? Plumbers, electricians, car repairmen, landscapers, people that own their own landscaping companies. If you get the right routes, you're banking. Especially more than somebody who's trying to recruit you for a Primerica scam. Say, no, man, look, we'll even pay for your license. We'll pay for your license. But then I have to pay you a portion of what I make on the fucking houses that I sell? Nah, fuck off. Fuck off. All right. So it's the same shit. It's definitely the same shit here. And it's funny that you found yourself. I found myself in the exact same scenario. And what I liked about this particular incident is that a friend of mine, I've almost, I've fallen into two of these. Not fallen, but I've been a part of two of these. One was a custodian at the old school that I worked at, and I've mentioned this before because it was just hysterical that, I was there as a teacher. And I don't want to shame a custodian, but at the same time, this lady just came from Cuba. And, I've done what I needed to do, getting my degree, getting through all the certifications, doing all the courses, passing all the tests to become a teacher, which is not difficult, by the way, but I'm saying the process, which is very costly, by the way. I don't think you pay anymore because there's a teacher shortage. But when I went to school, I had to pay about $5,000 to $6,000 in classes and exams and certifications that they don't pay you back. Which is great. But case in point, I'm there after school working on some grades and shit, and she comes in cleaning, and she goes, do you have everything you want in life? In Spanish. And I go, no. She goes, would you like to? as she's picking gum off the floor. I go, well, yeah, but I guess it's just hard work and, you know, eventually saving money and being smart with your finances and you'll get there. And she goes, no, now, would you like to make all the money in the world right now? I'm like, well, yeah, but that's not realistic. And she goes, well, I have a project that I'm working on for school. This is what she told me, that bitch. And I'd like for you to help me. And I go, all right, I guess if you're going back to school, that's very good for you because, you know, then you could kind of build up and do your stuff. And I ended up giving her my phone number and she called me. And then lo and behold, it's a multi-level marketing scam. And she's out here trying to get me to sell pill bottles to other old people. And the lady wanted to come to my house. And I'm like, no, thank you. So that was one that was just hysterical. Because she's there cleaning the floor of the classroom while telling me, do you want to have everything you've ever wanted in life? Yeah, I think that's the goal. It's what I'm doing right now, trying to get to that goal, lady. So I just found that funny. And the other one was Primerica, where they took me to a very shady office with nothing. It's this guy's office, but he doesn't have anything on his desk. He doesn't have any pictures of his family on the wall. And he just got off the phone as I came into the room, just smashing a deal. Oh, yeah, all right. No, I'll get back to you. I have a client that I'm going to talk to. Smashing the phone down. Hey, man, how you doing? Hard handshake and trying to scheme me on real estate and bullshit. And he didn't let me leave the room until I gave him 3 numbers. So I gave him 3 people that I didn't like so he could fuck with them. But that was a very interesting endeavor. Jesus, at some point, just sell drugs, says Hungry and Hungover. Yeah, that's definitely a better, more lucrative endeavor than that. Iker says the handsome pig cake live. Hey, that's me, buddy. I'm the handsome pig cake, and I'm live. I would look into Forex, but I'd probably end up getting recruited. Well, Forex is a completely viable way of making money as is stocks, right? As is the stocks and trading. But what people do is that they get these things that are real estate, and they twist it with multi-level marketing, right? Same thing with all these companies like Mary Kay. It's very easy for you to look at, or not easy, but you still have to look into it, where you source warehouses and you look up products and then you resell them. That's essentially what you're doing for Mary Kay. The only problem is that they're the middlemen, and essentially they're the ones that are scamming you into recruiting more people for their endeavor. But all they've done is that they've just wholesaled shitty product that they want you to sell, and they want you to pay to be a whatever the fuck, a member. So it's all a scam. And you're doing the same exact shit, but with Forex. So if you just looked into it, I'm sure you could probably make some change with that. But it's definitely like stocks. Why is there sync there? Well, there's probably sync there because they are squeezing as many people into these Airbnbs as possible to try to recruit people. And they say, oh, look, we recruiting, we working. You're over there, you're doing nothing, I'm working. No, you're not working, you're scamming. You're scamming people, which could be work, I guess, whatever. Maybe semantic argument there. But definitely retarded. And I always like that. This is the other one, I guess. I'll just quickly show this one. This one here says, you went to InvestFest and now you're networking with millionaires. Show me. Show me. Where are they at? There's about 100 of them in this room. 100 people in this room. Are those Lays? Oh, all right. So let's just, I didn't even notice this when I first watched the video. So you went to InvestFest and now you're networking with millionaires. Let's take a look here at what these millionaires are consuming. That's a silver aluminum foil plates. Those are paper plates. Those are plastic solo cups. You have what is, it looks like a Tupperware from Publix with croissants. I think those are Ruffles. And this is really what sells it for me. Hawaiian Punch and simply Minute Maid. Lemonade or limeade or whatever it is. Some bottles of what looks like to be, I don't know if that's tequila. This looks like a Prosecco. I don't think any millionaire that's trying to recruit people or trying to get people to work for him and his endeavors would just have a fucking plastic jug of Minute Maid or Hawaiian Punch on an island in a rental. I don't think that's the way millionaires discuss deals. I don't know. Just might be me, but I can't believe I missed that on first viewing. But that's the sort of vibe, and I just find that completely hysterical. And it's funny to see that because every time I mention that, people tell me their own experiences with people that, get into these schemes and these scams for multi-level marketing. Primerica tried to get 9-year-old me in the conference room at the Hyatt. They got mad when they said, or when I said that it reminded me of a pyramid scheme. Of course not. It's an upside down funnel. It's a reverse drainage system. So you're an idiot for thinking that this is a multi-level marketing scheme. You're the one that's in the wrong, and I'm going to shame you, says Corn Pop. Is it a square scheme if there are two bosses? Yeah, that's the next level. The next level, Manel, is going to be a square scheme. No, you know what? I'm gonna hit you with the let me hit you with this one right here. Hold up. Let me get you with actually, can I do it? Yes, I can. Pin of glory, Manel. What do you call this? The baseline is not really high here. Typically you would have to put more effort, but I got to tell you, that's pretty clever. That's clever. And my mood today dictates that earned a pin of glory. Usually there's a little bit more aggressiveness that you have to put there in order to partake in that. However, today I have to say you earned it. The bar isn't really high today. Millionaires don't drink Hawaiian punch. They use space weapons on Maui and steal all the land from the natives. You said that. I didn't say that. Why did I get an ad about nut powder when I clicked on the stream, says Brandon Day. YouTube is doing this thing now where they're putting ads on these streams. I can't control it. I could skip it, but I don't have the screen for some of the ads. But that's just YouTube trying to get their own. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get their own here. Hane says at least half of the pyramid scheme victims will also have a broken home to debt. That is true. And this is definitely something that is trying to sell them a get rich quick scheme, which is never the case. The only one of that is Lotto. And most of those people end up broke because instead of partaking in paying, I don't know, a lawyer a couple grand to manage your finances in terms of setting up contracts, you spend it on a speedboat and a $15 million house when you won $30 million. So things like that. And you end up working exactly as you were before you won the lotto. Speaking of that, new book, which is a new one? This is the old one, which is new because it came out about a month and a half ago. The View from Down Here. It's out. You could look at it in the link in the description section below. It's a fun book, a lot of fun ideas, a lot of good takes on stuff and out of this world that I really enjoy. Probably my favorite version. And then tomorrow, I'm releasing the new book, which is called The Art of the Squeal. You could see that there. It's a take, obviously, on the art of the deal, inspired by the comments here that I received on the channel or on the PigCast. Some people said, hey, Art of the Squeal is a great book name. And that's what you got here. So this one's coming out tomorrow. It has my favorite thing that I've ever made up ever, which is called No. That is a way of getting a thought of word in a piece of paper in their pocket. One of my favorite things of all time. Also, you have my take on a very good any card, any number. You have a good, tremendous variation, I would say, suck in my own dick, of Peter Nardi's Knock 'em Dead. A great variation that they deal the cards. You show a prediction, and the prediction matches the card that they freely stop dealing at. I think it's a wonderful take, and that book is coming out tomorrow. A little autobiographical, too. There's a lot of stories that I put in there. And I'm actually actively working on the next book, which is going to be called Hams and Fantasies. So I already have a list. Actually, I'm working on the list of tricks that are going to be on that book. So that one's going to be a fun one. Hams and Fantasies is not going to be a direct, obvious ripoff of is the Knock 'em Dead Impromptu. It's one foreign card setup, essentially. Like the original. It's pretty much like the original. The only difference is that you're not using special cards. So I was very happy. I sent it to Peter Nardi and he loved it. But I decided to put it in a book. So I'm already working on the next one, by the way, Hams and Fantasies. That one is probably going to be out next month or maybe in 2 months. And that one has a lot of fun stuff that, again, I think people are going to enjoy. But then I'm biased. I'm a little biased as well. So that's coming out tomorrow. You can look forward to that if you are interested. I guess let's get into this topic, which is two more. One is on magic and the other one is on this drinks. I guess I'll go on this drinks real quick because it's a quick topic. These are becoming more and more popular. I think they're called hurricanes. Right? Anytime you ask for a hurricane in a bar, what you're going to have is you're going to have a girl with tremendous tits and a wonderful butt pour a shot in your mouth and then put water on you and then slap you. That's a trend. And it's dumb. It's retarded. You shouldn't do this. I get it that you have a hot girl within proximity of you, but she's a whore. She's a whore. You don't want her. You're going to have to go to MD now. You're going to have to go to whatever your local urgent care is for itchy dick the next day for dick rot. So, and dick rot's also playing today at the Pickle. So if you want to see them, you could get tickets for dick rot. Let me give myself a one of those for that. But this is what it looks like. And this is a more extreme version. Don't do this. It doesn't make you look cool. You're not going to fuck her. So let me take this out. So she's spitting a shot in his mouth, and then she puts water in his face and then slaps him. And obviously he drinks a shot, and all he gets is a shitty high five. You're not going to fuck her. If she's fucking you, yeah, whatever. All right, that's kind of dope. You know, you're doing some kinky shit. But here, she's taking a shot. She's snowballing it in your mouth, and she gives you a shitty slap, and she squirts you with water. Not even a cool high five. And how many dudes has she done that with today, by the way? God damn, what's going on here? What's going on here? Sorry, I got distracted. I hope they're of age. That I'm looking at shotties here. I'll always like to look at the profile and make sure that they're of age. 18. All right, so it says 18. I'm good. I'm in the clear. Before I accidentally clicked on a video of underage people dancing and saying, whoa. But in that case, and now I can't go back to it. Now I can't go back to the hurricane shot. But case in point here is don't do it. It's dumb. It's retarded. I don't care if you're like, hey, man, the boys say that you should get that hurricane shot. You should get that shot, man. No, I'm not going to have a girl that's only hot because she's in the bar and pouring me drinks that she's going to put water in my face and then hit me and not even fuck me. No, thank you. Can you dedicate Squeal to me, please? Don't ask, don't get, right? Tony writing? No, I can't. Because I already have it. The book is already... Well, I could add it, but I already have the PDF. But you know what? I'll put you in... the Hams and Fantasies. So just because you asked. Tony writing. So I'll put you there as a dedication. Dedication. So just because you asked and I'm retarded, I'm going to put you in Hams and Fantasies, which is going to be the next book. So this next one, I guess is it's not too late, but I don't want to go back in the PDF. And for some odd reason, the program that I've been using this Adobe program to make these books. And sometimes they don't save the PDF as I have it, which is the point of a PDF, that it saves with the exact same formatting as you have it on the page. It fucks with it, so I don't want to fuck with it. But the next one, I will. Corn Pop says she's not that attractive. You're right. Toby, I'm retarded. I apologize profusely. I'm blind as shit, and I'm looking at the smallest font. Toby writing. Okay. I'm going to put Toby correctly. Fuck. But she's not attractive. But again, when you're at a bar and the bartender is the hottest one there and she's fit, she's got some titties, she's got some ass. She's there wearing Lululemons, which is my thing. I was telling my friend yesterday about this instance that I had with a girl where, okay, Iker, I'm going to add you too, just because I feel like you're going to bother me if I don't. So I'm going to add you as a dedication. Iker. I'm going to put Iker. Because I don't want to put your last name because it sounds like the Spanish Cuban word for pussy. So I'm going to put Iker and I'm going to add you there as well, just because you asked for it. So now, Toby, you're not going to feel special, Toby. But these bartenders that, okay, I went on a tangent there. My bad. I was telling my friend that I had an instance with a girl that she was wearing my favorite thing ever. And my favorite thing in the planet is long socks. I love long socks. You could put long socks on Lizzo, and I'll consider eating her out. right? So long socks. Now, the problem is that I went to Disney with this particular individual, and, you're walking a lot in Disney. There's hot sun on you. You're not really going to be in your best condition down there when it comes to partaking in activities. So this individual, we got back to the hotel. She puts on long socks. And, shenanigans take place. But there was a smell that reminded me of a turtle tank in that particular area. And I sucked it up because long socks got me to do that. I forgot why I went on a tangent about long socks. But either way, to Toby and Iker, says Pepsi Addict. That's fucking hysterical. Piggy is never wrong. You've been wrong about your name your entire life, Tony. Well, Corn Pop, I believe I did dedicate one of the ones to you. I think you asked me earlier. You started that trend of that. It'd be funny to have an extra cover for an extra cover with two naked fat men on the screen. Well, I think that would be good, but I'd rather have it topical. As a matter of fact, let me see if I could find the picture here that I already made the cover for Hams and Fantasies, and it's based on Scams and Fantasies by Darwin Ortiz. So let me see if this is the right one. I think so. I could show this, I guess. Let me smoothly transition. I guess I'll show both just to make sure, because if you're ever going to do a parody of something, you have to show the original. A lot of people don't understand that they just try to go in for the parody and they don't really think about what the original looks like. So I guess let me show you what it's going to look like here. This is next month. So this one, let me hide myself. The one on the right is the original, which is Scams and Fantasies with Darwin Ortiz. And the one on the left is obviously my take on it, which is going to come out next month, maybe a month and a half, 2 months. And Hams and Fantasies. So that's going to be the cover for that one, I guess. So I thought that would be a very funny bit on it. And I even managed to source the font. I put it on my Instagram. I ended up finding a program that let me find the exact font of it so I could be accurate. And obviously, I put my face on Darwin Ortiz. And if you notice, even the small little details count, my friends. My cards. I'm holding my cards. Or Darwin, as me, is holding the missing piece deck of cards. So that's just a small little preview of next month. And I'm churning out these books, by the way. Some people might say, hey, Piggy, why are you putting so many of these out? Are you just money hungry? You want to sell these, buddy? No. Yes, though, obviously. Money's always great, considering what I just paid to the IRS. However, I am catching up for lost time with these books. I'm upset that it took me this long to work on books because I find them very fulfilling, especially after I finished the first one, the lecture notes that I was sitting on for years. I never worked on them, and then finally I finished them, and I have them up on the shop too. I just been in this appetite to put my content in written form. And I think that it's a very fun medium. And I hate that I didn't do it sooner. So now I'm catching up for lost time. I'll probably stop in the next one. Maybe the next one might be the last one for a while. And then I might do a print run of one. But I'm just catching up for lost time. So I regret not working on books earlier. And I'm really enjoying the process, enjoying the zen that is working on these books. And I hope people enjoy them. And I think people have been. I've gotten great responses from them. And so far, let's see if we get some more rave reviews, boys. Let's see. I'm the originator of the joke book dedication. It's my life's greatest achievement. Jax Regret says, thanks for the Lizzo long socks visual. She would crush you like a walnut. But some people like the pressure. You don't even like feet, but you like long socks. Yeah, there's something about long socks. I prefer clothed girls than naked girls. So if you're wearing clothing, it might just be my conservative values, but I like seeing socks on a female. If you get some long socks on you, we're throwing down. I don't even need to use the Roman pill that's in my wallet that I keep as emergencies. That's not a joke. I actually have a boner pill in my wallet because of one instance that I had where it took me 15 minutes to get it up. But then again, I wasn't really attracted to the person. So I now have a get out of jail free card in my wallet. So if you're ever around me and you're in need of a dick pill, I got you. So this is the last topic, and it's related to magic tricks, which, if you haven't guessed it, is the channel, the point of this channel, magic tricks. And this is one that I saw. It's one of those dating shows that are getting popular online, and it's funny because I probably know this guy. I probably fucking know this guy, but you could see how he managed to woo this girl with his magic. Let me move myself here and show you.
My name's SJ.
Nice. What's that stand for?
1 second.
Oh, don't touch. What the fuck with
Now,
that?
before I keep going, a little bit weird here, right? He goes and reaches and grabs a sponge ball from her. Wow, she's kind of hot, but hot in like a very English way, which is not saying much. So he shakes her hand. By the way, a couple things. I feel like I'm going on a tangent here real quick, but I have to mention them. So he goes and reaches for a sponge ball in her ear, and look at how she reacts.
Nice. What's that stand for?
1 second.
Oh, don't touch. What the fuck?
Don't touch. She was gonna say, "Don't fucking touch me," right? Don't touch me, because I guess maybe she thought that he was gonna caress her hair. So not starting off in the best foot there, but it does even out for him at the end. I didn't even need to see this. I saw this video first. This is a stitch. I hate these fucking videos, but alas, whatever. It's the one that I could find. I saw this video first on my TikTok without any caption, and I fucking knew that he was a magician. And when he pulled a sponge ball from her ear, I lost my shit because I knew it. I saw this and I'm like, you're a magician. And it only confirmed it. But let's take a look at it.
Nice. What's that stand for?
1 second.
Oh, don't touch. What the fuck with that?
Crazy, right? Look, do me a favor, just blow on that for me. It just completely jumps into my back pocket.
Shut the fuck
Look,
up.
give me your hands, give me your hands. Hold on to these. Make a fist and think about what you like most in life.
You right now, probably.
Nice. Now,
Probably.
if I can make whatever you want appear in your hands, I'll give it to you later on. Blow on
Okay.
that. Open your hand.
That's a massive win. What?
I ain't gonna lie, he didn't change the
Sponge ding dong. It works, apparently. Wow, she is kind of hot. When I went to England, I got a Tinder. I had a Tinder before, but I never used it, apart from a couple times to try to get desperate pussy. And I tried it in England just to see what was around me. I would think that this is what would be around me. No, it's girls that think they look like this, but they're morbidly obese. So they have the same fake tan, the same dumb makeup, lip thicker, thinner, whatever they have to thicken their lips. This sort of attire, which I'm kind of, I almost have a boner right now, but not looking like this. So that's what I saw. That was 99% of the women over there.
Open your hand.
But let's go through to when he actually does some more tricks.
I want to connect with you. But to connect with you, I need to make sure our minds are the same. On my phone, I have my notes app. I want you to just start a new note. I want to try and influence a holiday that me and you could both go on.
Okay.
I want you to take this paper, place it in your hand behind your back, and we're going to play a game of which hand. Take it out when you're ready. So show everybody it's in your right hand.
It is, yeah.
Open your hand. Place it behind your back one more time. This place starts with a B. And I knew you were going to pick Benidorm.
What on earth? What on earth?
But wait. Come, I wrote this prediction down on a Sharpie marker before we even started, and you've been holding on to the proof the whole time.
Oh my god,
Bro, no. No, and look at this stance. Look.
The stance is crazy. He does have a crazy stance here, but I think he does one more trick maybe. Oh, he does a lie detector.
Sleep with someone.
No.
He's doing it right now.
You won't be making it to the final.
Oh, apologies, SJ, brother.
Yeah, that was wild, but that is a good trick.
no.
But just a couple things, I guess, kind of too rigid. Very rigid for me. I don't know if I like that, especially considering she asked him a question here in the beginning, and he completely glossed over it just to get into this trick, without acknowledging it, which I found funny. Let's see what the comments say here. Shadow Money Wizard game. So I guess they're talking about what the guy said. A massive Willani. All right, whatever the fuck. Powerful stance. That is true. The stance in the wild. Harry, the boy who rizzed. The Wizard of Oz. This new clock, by the way, this new watch. Every time there's a new hour, it beeps. I don't know if I like that. You sounded like Berlizzi when you took that stance. That's another level of game. That's funny. So, interesting. Anytime I see magic hit the general space, it's always interesting to see how people react to it. This guy, I think, did a good job, but if I just have a little bit of criticism there, it's too rigid, right? It's too rigid, and you even see that in the stance. There's no pliability there, even though he did do some great tricks. I remember seeing that. I'm not good friends, but I'm friends with the guy that made that particular trick. And when they performed it on me in England, I lost my shit because it's this super sleek, silent thing that you have them. The only thing I don't like there too is also, oh hey, I have a notes app. Could you write this on my notes app for no reason? No. Could you write it on my notes app to show to the other person? Not to be a virgin here, but if you're having them write it down, it's because you want to show it to the other person without saying anything out loud. That's the point of it. If you just go, oh, could you write this on my notes app? For no reason. To me, that just seems like a dumb thing to do. But I'm digressing here. But you have it behind your back. You do the which hand bit, and inside of the paper is a prediction. Oh, God. Fuck. I saw some great things with that. Everybody was doing that in Blackpool. But let me look through the comments here. Let's say, okay, I'm looking for the new ones. I thought it was a name, King Pick. So we have some beef going on in the chat. Lizzo in long socks. Yeah, I apologize to you guys for giving you that visual. But alas, if Lizzo was wearing long socks, I'd probably eat out that butt. Let's see here. Hane says, next time you make a book dedicated to someone as a joke, can you make it sound as if they died saving your life as a joke? Well, I wouldn't make it as a joke, but I'll probably come up with some long-winded explanation for that as to like a long story. And that'll be fun. Going through here. Lizzo can only wear long socks until the diabetes claims a foot. 15 minutes is a sign that you should leave. Fuck. Left you something in Discord chat, PigCake. Let's see what you left me in the Discord chat. I'm going to go and check that out right now. I have to open the app. But let me X this out so my computer doesn't explode. Because if I have too many different browsers open, my computer tends to blow up. And with my name, I really can't risk that. Steve Brooksy says, PigCake, not to be too virgin-y, but I sent you a book cover design and also a trick that you could share as a contribution. I did see that. But I didn't see the trick contribution. I did see the cover, and I showed the cover for Hams and Fantasies. I already showed it. So if you go back in the stream, you'll see what the cover is for the book. But it's essentially Scams and Fantasies with my face on it holding my deck. He bought the Jay Sankey Pickup Artist Magic Kit, right? I thought you only liked hot Latinas. I like indigenous, ambiguous girls. That's my vibe. But that girl was hot, so I'm never gonna say no to a hot girl, even though English girls tend to be atrocious. I'm looking for whatever you left me on the Discord, and I don't find it. Oh, this, okay. Yeah, you sent me an AI picture of Lizzo. So let me save this image and show it to the chat here. I'm sorry, guys, but this is what I'm getting live as the show is going on. So I apologize profusely for showing you this image, but I had to see it. So let's take a look at this beautiful, empowered woman. Let's see here. If I show this, well, I guess my desktop is hiding, so I might as well show this. You can't see my desktop. Right here. So we have Lizzo in long socks. This is what we're taking a look at. Nice. All right, let's just go here. We have Lizzo in long socks, looking like bloated, looking skinny, I would say. This is probably what the AI algorithm has been trained to put for Lizzo. Like, oh, let's put her fat, but let's make her still have curves. No, Lizzo is what we call in the business a flatso. She's a flatso. She's just this amalgamous shape. And here, it's not doing anything for me. I think my hypothesis has been destroyed by a fat girl. My fat phobia is taking over there. What else do we have here? Oh, I didn't send a trick. Okay, so I haven't seen that, but I saw the book cover yet. I saw the book cover, and even though I did like it, I do think that, well, the other one that I made is better, all right? Just because it's more to the actual thing. He shot a shot. She's an absolute dime piece, says Hungry and Hungover. Yeah, so he won. He definitely won that situation. I could have as many little criticisms on the performance as I have, but he definitely won that. He's seen the winner screen. Black people have the best reaction to magic tricks, says Yosef. I didn't say it. You said it, but I'm not disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing. Black people and Latino have amazing reactions to card tricks. So whenever they see a trick, they tend to lose their minds. Just because, I guess, I don't know, you could do the simplest card trick and they'll run off in all different directions. Technically, she's indigenous for England. Well, she's a minority in England because she's an attractive girl. Unless you go to, what's it called, Newcastle, where all the girls are attractive for some odd reason. I fell in love every step in Newcastle when I got off, and I just kept loving every single girl that I came across. So this, I guess, is the end portion of the video. I don't know how long we've been going because I don't have a monitor as to the actual stream itself. But this is the end portion of the stream where we like to go through the comments. We like to go through things that people might have, questions, concerns. Seeing that we did talk about magic on this particular stream, and I don't usually like to talk about magic on streams, but we do have some episodes dedicated to magic tricks. We could talk about tricks. We could talk about maybe different ideas that you guys might want to go through. Decks, I guess. I'm looking at it right now. I mentioned it. There's some retardation on Facebook due to decks and due to what's it called, Enigma, and I made a video about it. So I made a video in regards to that you could see. It's called "Magicians Are Retarded," and I put my little thoughts on the whole I guess not controversy, but magicians being retarded about these products, because it's always the exact same story. They hype themselves up, they sell these things to themselves, and when the trick doesn't meet Larry Hoover, when it doesn't meet their expectations, they complain and they type away on their little fucking desktop on Facebook or the Magic Cafe, and it hurts my eyeballs. So I want to make a video in regards to that. And I thought Dex was great. I've been practicing it. I think it's very interesting. It's a good little exercise. Cut a card, look at it, and try to pick it out from decks. Certain cards are a lot easier than others. And, you know, there are a lot of things that you could do with it. You could do a thought of card where you take a card out, put it in your pocket, and have them name a card, reach in, and then pull the card out, little things like that. So it's definitely a very useful tool. I don't understand why people would bitch and moan about it. I love my decks, and also love reading dumb comments about people who know literally zero about it. But my thing is that it's a well-made product, right? That's number one. Number two, it's an index. So what else could it be? You have the marketing for it. Obviously, companies are going to try to market. Now, here's the thing. I disagree with when companies lie. And I do believe there was an incident with, and I made a video on this, I think, too, with, it was level 1, or no, switch 1. I think. I remember I did a video on that because the marketing on that was deceptive. I believe Vanishing Ink, they made it seem like you were getting some sort of switch device. Meanwhile, you were getting a tremendous sleight of hand switch that looks retarded, like in a sense of how great it looks. I'm not saying retarded in the negative sense. It looks ridiculous. However, the marketing, and they switched up different text on it to make it seem like what you were getting was in fact somewhat of a gimmick switch, but it wasn't that. And I remember I did a video on that. I get that, and I disagree with that. However, when you have something like this that's Dex, obviously they're going to hype up the speed. They're going to hype up certain things to make it look good because they're trying to sell a product. However, the product is good. So what the fuck is the issue? I really don't get that. Piggy, do you believe in the supernatural? I don't know. Depends. Depends. A lot of aliens are in the news. There's a lot of iffiness with that. Certain timing that I disagree with that particular thing. And I think that if aliens have come, we would have known by now for sure. You don't need the government telling you that they found something that they can't describe. In terms of supernatural, like ghosts and shit, I would say no. I'm not a ghost pigga, but don't put me in a haunted house. Don't put me in a haunted house, because then I'll start thinking that certain things are ghosts. I'm doing a rolling 48-hour fast, dropped 15 pounds. Any thoughts or advice on fasting? Well, I fast every day until 2 Only have black coffee in the morning, and then after that, I'll put in Fairlife, which is a very protein-rich milk. And but I'll fast until 2. Just have coffee, water, lots of water. I don't like the long fasts. I don't like those 48-hour fasts because I don't think those are good for you. They're good if you want to lose a lot of weight quickly, but you need to get nutrition to. You need to have the right nutrition to make up for that. So you still need to have good protein intake, especially if you're trying to build muscle. So I would say I'm not a fan of those 48-hour fasts, but prolonged fasts, like morning fasts, I like those, especially not eating in the morning. I don't eat in the morning anymore, especially due to the tutelage of the Matrix. Sorry, not the Matrix, of the one that circumvented the Matrix. In terms of dodging breakfast. Breakfast is not fun. It's not great. I would say you don't necessarily need it that early. You don't need to shock your body with food that early. Fats are good for you. Fats are good for your brain. So if you were to eat something in the morning, I would say, especially after a hangover, have something very fatty, like bacon and things like that. But obviously take into account your protein. But I think if you're doing 48-hour fast, you're losing what could potentially be muscle. And I'm not a fan of those. But in terms of fasting, just small fasts. I like not eating till 2 every day, and then having very regimented things as to what I eat. Obviously on weekends, I tend to eat out sometimes. But just trying to at least maintain good protein intake is what I've realized has been the best. And I've lost God knows how many pounds since February. And I'm right now, I'm proud of the way I look in the mirror. I'm looking at the mirror and I'm like, damn, look at that boy right there. Look at that. But obviously everything is contingent on what I've been eating in the days before. And this weekend, your boy was not a good boy. Why is the index holding a deck of cards and not smaller than a deck of cards? What are you talking about? Why is the index holding a deck of cards? Is that for the logo of decks? Let me see. Let me try not to show the actual bits. I don't know what you're talking about there. If it's maybe part of the marketing of it for it. But I'm not sure what you mean, Steve Brooksy. Why is the index holding a deck of cards not smaller than a deck of cards? I don't know what you mean there. Piggy believes in a supernatural more if he's dating a chick that does. Yeah, if I'm dating a crystal bitch, one of these bitches that's into like onyx crystals and rose quartz, yeah, I'll probably believe more in supernatural, especially considering how good she consumes penis. My mom honestly believes Bigfoot is real. Well, that video really fucked with people. That's the Zapruder. No, that's the Kennedy. What's the one, the Bigfoot, the famous one that they have where the fucking, he's doing this thing right here. Just this pose that looks like a dude in a fucking bear costume that people swearing. That's not good. We definitely would find Bigfoot if Bigfoot exists. I love watching these Bigfoot shows, though, that they used to have on the History Channel. Do you like UFC? I love UFC. I'm a big fan of sweaty dudes legitimately fighting, and I'm also a huge fan of big sweaty guys pretend fighting that actually get injured. Oh, it is the Zapruder film. Okay, there you go. So look at that. Even when I'm wrong, I'm right. Fuck here. Do I like KFC? Not a huge fan of KFC, even though I am African American.
This is the neighborhood, and you are not welcome.
Just to bank on some stereotypes here. I'm not a huge fan, believe it or not. I think their thing is always Patterson. Fuck. Okay. Shit. So I'm wrong. I'm wrong about being wrong. Or I'm wrong about being right. They're soggy. The chicken's always soggy there. So it's never a good chicken. So I'm not a big fan of KFC. I'm a Chick-fil-A guy. I'm a dude that likes those Christ-like organizations that run their jobs very effectively. Japanese people did intermittent fasting for years, and they seem fine. I'm also very attracted to Japanese women. So that's another thing that I like, apart from indigenous, ambiguously indigenous Latino women. I also love Japanese women. And I also love their pornography. So their pornography is among my favorite. So I would say that. Tips on the slip shift. I'm not a fan of those, for real. I don't know why I said that. I guess I've been watching too many Biden videos. I'm not a fan of any of those alternatives to regular passes. But the only one I do like, I guess what is a pass, is it's from the right angle. It's this thing. I love that one. So it's a cover pass. but typically you have to see it from top down. You're doing essentially what is a dribble pass, but as a cover. I have a bunch of stuff on that, different takes. You're holding 2 cards as one, reverses with this. There's a lot of fun things you could do with it, but it's very angle sensitive. I think a way to control that is doing it that way. So you have more of a forward action rather than this action right over here. I've seen Justin Miller do this sort of action a lot in his work. But in this case, I think that's a good way to actually have that be somewhat of a practical movement. If you're going to do a cover like pass with that one. But in terms of that, I'm not sure. I see all these like cherry control and all these weird things. I'm not a fan of any one of those types of controls. Really, if you're going to do a pass, I think fuck it, just do a pass. The only other alternative I guess I like is the reverse spread stuff. So there's a lot of reverse spread stuff. For example, Lee Asher's losing control is probably the most perfect control you could do. That's in that same vein as a pass or a shift, as you want to call it. But I'm not a fan of like these one card things that you have to have cards sticking out of places and then you hide it on top. I'm not a fan of those types of things. So I can't give you any advice on the slip shift if you ask for that one. What's your opinion on Strickland? Depends on... I guess if I'm having a private conversation with someone, I'd say that Strickland is extraordinarily based and hysterical. But if I'm having a conversation with someone online where it's being recorded for the internet, I'm going to say, no, I'm not a fan of Strickland. I don't like it. I think that he should keep his beliefs to himself because I'm too progressive for that. This is the
neighborhood, and you are not welcome.
Neighborhood. Cherry control is so dumb. I got the download for it and felt scammed. It's one of those magician masturbation moves. It's one of those masturbatory magician moves that they just do just to fuck with them. Peter Turner says, why aren't you? You should be a theater kid. We're having a conversation about how theater kids are the worst. We killed off nearly all the Bigfoot. If you see one, don't say anything. I guess, because then that means that I'm next. Did you see Andy Kaufman versus Jerry Lawler? Yeah, I'm a huge fan of that. I've always loved Andy Kaufman's dedication to kayfabe and keeping the art and having people kind of blur that line between fiction and reality. And I always loved watching those old documentaries. It's funny, Man on the Moon with Jim Carrey, on how Jim Carrey attempted to get into the mind of Andy Kaufman, but he only got into the mind of what was presented of Andy Kaufman. Jerry Lawler and Andy Kaufman were really good buddies. They're really good friends, and they went through all that whole plot as just a whole bit. But this guy tried to be a method actor for a person that didn't exist, because the Andy Kaufman that he was portraying wasn't real. It was this fake Andy Kaufman. So it was just funny that he tried to be a method actor for that, for something that was essentially a work. Hey, PigCake, have you ever metamorphosis that you didn't like? Have you ever metamorphosis that you didn't like? I don't know what the fuck that means. I'm sorry, Don. I don't know what in the blue hell that means. I apologize if I'm retarded. Tony Writing says, or Toby, see, fool me twice. You're not going to fool me again. You keep mentioning your deck of cards. Is it being released? What's special about it? Well, if you watched my channel and or any social media I had for about a couple months ago, you would know about my deck. It's just my deck that I'm coming out with. I did a Kickstarter that was successful the last day, and it's coming out hopefully by the end of the year. I'm working through all this stuff now. And we'll see if, everything is seamless as I hope it to be. But right now I'm in the process of signing the contract. Why is decks not smaller than a deck of cards? That's a good bit, I guess. I think that's what you meant earlier. Well, the thing about it is that you have a couple options. Now, decks, they chose to have the cards this way in the pocket, and I think that that's a better decision than having the cards be this way, because this way you don't have the pocket space that you would to bring your hand in and try to feel around the card. So I think it was a good decision to make the cards this way. Now, it isn't smaller than a deck of cards because you have to have it be a tier shape. in order to accommodate the pocket. So I do think that the shape makes sense, especially considering you are having one index that's going into one pocket. So if you do it with one pocket, I think that's the way that it has to be. That's the shape that it has to be. This, I think, could work for certain types of index, but I think a vertical one would probably work best if you have it split between two pockets, if you have a red and a black. But if you're doing an entire deck and you're trying to fit an entire deck in what is a very small space, and you're trying to be able to go in there and maneuver and pull the cards that you need, I do think that this probably is the only way to do it. Is the only way to do it well. So they did kind of nail it in the head with the shape. It is big, but I think it has to be that way to accommodate the cards, to accommodate the flaps, to accommodate each and every single card that you have in the flaps. So I do think that this is the minimum that it could be without compromising on the structure, without going too crazy on sourcing the actual wallet itself and putting it together. So I do think that this is the bare minimum. I think that Dex is probably the bare minimum in terms of what you could have in terms of the shape. Now, you could fuck with it, but I do think at that point, I do believe that this one doesn't have the aces. So Dex, the only cards that it doesn't have are the aces. But if you're going to have something of a more vertical approach that would be smaller, just because this takes up less space in this plane, it would have to probably be without certain cards included. So you probably have to omit certain cards to maybe fit it in one pocket without compromising on the ability to reach in and pull the right card. So I just think that that's from playing around with decks as I have. But I'm sure if you're clever enough, you could probably design a good version of that could accommodate that. But there's always going to be a compromise. And I think for this one, the compromise is that you have to have that shape for it. It was a bit... I did not want a 5-minute explanation. Is it worth it for non-card tricks? I don't think so, because it's overkill for non-card tricks. So if you have like star signs, for example, or you have maybe something that requires, I would say, less than like 6 outs. I know star signs you got 12, but for 12 it's a little bit overkill because you have essentially, you know, what is I don't know how many flaps. I can't do the math now, but you have a lot of flaps in it. It might be good for star signs. Never mind. I might be retarded on that. It might be good for star signs, but I think it's overkill unless you have a big packet of stuff. So for a design duplication, it might be good, because if you do a design duplication, then you have pretty much every drawing that they could ever have potentially in your pocket. So you could do stuff for non-card tricks. Billets, I wouldn't say it's good for. But now that I think about it, you know, it probably could work well with even star signs and things, non-card tricks, just to separate those objects in your pocket. But it's best for a deck of cards. I think it's best for a deck of cards. But I fucking hate that you made me go on a tangent there and then you trolled me, you cunt. Let's see over here. Have you ever read the book The Illusioner? Jesus, that reminds me of calling cardisters. I can't even call them cardistry artists. But that reminds me of calling them cardisters. The Illusioner. It's card and coin magic. I've never heard of it. I've never even heard of Carlos Vaquera. What was your first trick that got you started in magic? I've mentioned this many times, but it's also in the new book that's coming out tomorrow. The Art of the Squeal, coming out tomorrow, Monday the 25th. I guess I'm going to be making a video on it and putting it out officially, but it's going to be available in the link in the description section below. I talk about my first trick. I talk about my first time that I fucked up a trick. I talk about the first trick I ever performed on someone. And the first trick that got me started in magic was the Balducci. And I mentioned that a kid told me that he was going to show me how he could levitate. And the entire day I was jerking off thinking as to how I could potentially levitate myself after I learned this technique and fly down the hallways like an idiot. And at the end of the day, he showed me the Balducci levitation. And from there, I started learning. I got Mark Wilson's Guide to Magic, which I have under here. And then from that, I got bit by the Magic Virgin bug. So that was the first trick that I ever saw. Say it with just 4 syllables. Metamorphosis. Just a dumb play on words. I'm also retarded. No, but I'm king retard. What are your 3 essential card slides? Love your approach to magic. Thank you, Don. Don Poodless. But I would say essential just because of versatility. Everything is layered, right? So even if I say something like a Mahatma control, right, which is a very versatile sleight, where you could do a control, you could peek, you could even do it with multiple cards. Let me see if I could even bust that out. It's kind of hard to do with multiple cards, but it is possible to do with multiple cards. I think I might have fucked one of them up there. Let me see if I could do it correctly here. Fuck. There you go. All right. I think I nailed it there. So it's a control you could do with multiple cards. It's a control you could do with a single card. It's a control that you could use to peek at the card on top of the deck. You still have to learn a pinky break, right? So it's not a standalone move. But I would say the ones that I've been obsessed with, Mahatma control, spread call, right? A good spread call is just probably the most versatile thing you could have. You could turn that into a palm. You could turn that into a multiple card control. You could use it as a force. You could use it as a switch. You could use it for so many different things. So I'm a huge fan of that move. Essential, I would say essential. Mahatma is not essential if you have the spread call, because essentially it works better and more efficiently. But just favorite. I guess these are favorite sleights. Maybe I'm twisting your bit. But Mahatma control, spread control, or spread call, and dude, I love the Bill Simon move. I love the Bill Simon prophecy move. Even though it's not as versatile as other things, I spent a lot of time on the lecture notes dedicated to this spread action. I spent a lot of time on that because that is by far one of my favorite things ever, because you have essentially a way that you could look away from the cards. You could have them think of a card, multiple people, and figure out what their cards are without ever looking at the deck. So that to me is just infinitely versatile, and 100 things that you could do with it. But in terms of just favorite sleights, I love how many things you could do with Bill Simon's prophecy move. It's not an essential move, but it's definitely one of those moves that has a lot of applications. And if you twist it, if you have cards face up, it works great. If you have cards towards you, it works great. If you have cards face down, it's just one of those great little bits. And it's definitely not essential, but it's one of the best things ever. What do you think of unbiased? What do you think of the unbiased Magic review? Well, I don't know. He left a comment on one of my videos saying, "Stop exposing Magic to the masses, you POS," which I thought was a little bit annoying and aggressive and kind of lame. So because of that, I'm biased. I'm biased as to not liking him. But yeah, I don't like the guy. Fuck. There you go. I was trying to find a positive. He's kind of biased. He's very biased. So it's funny that his channel is called Unbiased. And I don't know. Not a fan of the dude. Just not a fan. Kind of a cunt. Dex has more flaps than Taylor Swift. It has 3 flaps. It has 3 flaps that are used to mark the position of the cards, which I think is a good feature. Now, the problem is that 2 of the flaps kind of block the cards, but they're good to mark where the cards are. So you touch it and you know, okay, this card is going to be the 5, or this card in mine is going to be the 10 or the queen. So you know roughly by touching that. So it is a necessary evil in decks. Let's see. You could do every trick with a spread call. I agree. The spread call is stupid. You could do switches. You could do forces with the cards face up. You could hide cards in a deck. It's my favorite sleight just because of how many things you could do with it in terms of even look at that. You could get a card into a cop. You could do it with multiple cards. You could separate a deck. You could do a switch. You could do a force. It's the perfect move, I think. There's a lot of principles that help with it. What else here? Double lift pass and knowing when to put the deck away, says Jason Heiss. Yeah, those are all good essential sleights that you need. Most versatile thing I learned is the Altman trap. That too, because in terms of just getting the double without necessarily having to do anything more aggressive is, I think, probably one of the more versatile things you could have in Magic. It's one of those things that you learn that's a utilitarian sleight. And I mean that not to sound, again, if any woman ever sees this, I'm never seeing a pussy ever again. But it's like if you're doing a stage show, something like where your Sharpie marker goes in is probably the most important thing, because that empties a pocket, or that figures a different thing that now has you be able to make another thing easier. So to me, those little things are what tend to be the most important things in Magic. So something like the Altman Trap, which is one of those things that you would easily dismiss because, well, it's just, the technique is just so when you do a double lift, you could keep the double, or you're doing a triple. It's, I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to recapture a double every time? No. So you just do the Altman Trap. And it really allows you to keep doing a double forever, essentially. There's the Altman Move, too, which is a switch that from the Art of Astonishment. That's another one. That's a great little discrepant switch from the Art of Astonishment. I think that one's also great too. You could use that as a card force. Definitely not as versatile as other things, but I like it because I love these moves that shouldn't work, but they work. Another one is the Jinx change that a lot of people tend not to like, but I love it. It's, again, doesn't make sense logically if you burn it, but you essentially have a packet switch that... it's just one of those, like, it's a very discrepant move. Same thing with the Altman switch, but I love those. I'm kind of a collector of those very virgin-y videos, or virgin-y tutorials. Unbiased Magic reviews. We have unbiased Magic reviews. I always have to, unfortunately, check, but it's definitely not the original. Gambler's Cop is also essential. Yeah, it's a good one. Especially because it's a good take if you have small little shrimp hands and you're trying to palm cards. A Cop is definitely great. You do have to manage your angles, but I would say it's definitely my favorite to doing palms rather than having a card placed in a full palm in my tiny shrimp salesman hands. But I think that's the stream. I think it's been a good one, my friends. We've definitely gone through a varied array of topics. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys, I don't know, do all the things that people do, right, when it comes to these. I keep mentioning to check my book. This is the one that's out already, The View from Down Here. You could find it linked in the description section below. And if that's not your fancy, this one comes out tomorrow. The Art of the Squeal. I looked at The Art of the Deal, and I essentially copied it exactly in terms of font, in terms of look. I copied exactly what the book is, which is just hysterical in terms of my virgin dedication to it. So that's a fun one. But this one's already out. It's more of a just a not cartoonish sort of book. It's more I would say playful than the rigid Art of the Squeal. But alas, you could check those out. Some advice at the end of the video based on the topics I like to give. Don't get caught in a multi-level marketing scam. They're all scams. None of them are good. You're not going to find one. The likelihood of you finding success is maybe 5%. And you would have to be a terrible person in order to find success. If you have something cute that you do with your partner, keep it to yourself. I think that's the best advice. Don't put it on the internet for everybody to look and make fun of. Let's see here. Forex, the scam. Check out my book. Magician. I guess the magician that I saw. Be more pliable. Be more pliable. Don't be so rigid when it comes to your magic. Because I think people, they taste that. They could taste that. And it comes off a little bit as desperate. And also Nancy Pelosi is doing insider trading. That bitch, that big titty bitch is doing insider trading. And she's getting away with it. And I'm sure she pays nothing to the IRS. And yet I have to pay a lot to the IRS. And it's not fun. So fuck you, Nancy Pelosi, and your big titties. Your big saggy titties. All right. I think that's good.